T minus 1 minute. T minus 50 seconds. T minus 40 seconds. T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Yo, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Can you see me good? Hold on. Let me put this down here so I can put the light down here so you can see me better. A bit dark, that's better. I'm gonna swing. I'm gonna free breathing. I'm here. Welcome, guys. Welcome to my show again. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? Is everybody okay? Hopefully everybody's okay. Right, I'm around here now with the match build up. Excuse me, sorry. Got a bit of a cold at the moment still, so I'm a bit kind of like, having to clear my throat certain times and stuff. You know what I mean? It's just horrible. So basically today I'm coming in with the match. But Ensman's in there. That's what I mean. Ensman, jump in, man. Jump in. Ensman, jump in, fam. Jump in, King. The link's in the chat. Or if you want to put a link in here, I'll put the link in here still, man. Jump in, man. Come bless up the crowd. Bless up the crowd still. So basically, I'm about with a match reaction show. You know what I mean? Match reaction show and all that. All I ask you to do, guys, when you come around, is literally like and subscribe, please. Like and subscribe. If you already have subscribed, hit the notification button and you'll be notified when we go live. And also comment and share, please. Comment and share. All those good things that makes the thing there amazing. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put the link in the chat. The man wants to jump in still. I mean, yeah. I'm chilling on the sofa with the telly. Can I jump in off camera? Yeah, of course you can, mate. Of course you can, brother. Of course you can. Jump in. Go. The link's there, brother. The link's there. Right. Let's hit up some of these comments, guys. Let's hit up some of these comments. Because I don't want them comments building up still. OG, how are you doing? That's coming from the Redbird. Next one is Ravi says, yo, big up Ravi each and every time, my friend. Can we just for once win convincingly? Yeah, it would be nice, bro. It would be nice. Yo, that's some ends, man. Hopefully you should be in there soon. Excuse me, sorry. Yo, Roz, big up, and your comments work. It works. Yeah, man. Yeah, I think what it was, I must have done it by mistake. Once I blocked you in here by mistake, it's gone through to YouTube as well. So what I've done, I've actually made you a moderator as well, Ends. You know what I mean? Lots of maybe it was the last show. Yeah, facts. Roz hit me up with a mad dog. Such an idiot, you know. And says big up. Redbird ends. Man unblocked you. Ends killing it. Redbird is killing it. Uh, what's
Yo,
good? What's good with you?
yeah, man, just chilling.
Talk to me, man. Talk to me. How things?
Good, man. Good, relaxing, watching a movie. Just chilling, bro. Relaxing, man. Resting my bones, man.
Yeah. How's the family? Good.
Yeah, yeah. There's somewhere in
Yeah.
they usually do.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what it was though. I think when I blocked you on here by mistake, yeah. What
Mm.
must have happened for that? It must have gone to YouTube as well. You understand me? Because like when I
Oh,
looked on YouTube, because Rabbi told me to look on YouTube still. So I looked on YouTube and he said, "Yeah, man, you was blocked still." So I was like, I unblocked you, but I made you a moderator as well. Still, you're a mod
oh,
still. So
nice,
you
nice,
know,
nice.
you know what I mean? So no disrespect intended, man. You get me?
That's all right, man. I was in there, bro. I was in there from the start, Rods, and I was in there like, but because when I was messaging, yeah, people replied. So in my head, I'm like, right, they're responding to what I'm saying. But Paul was responding to me. It's only when I said, yo, like, no, when you was reading the comments, I don't know, I was just like, nah, Rods definitely can't see my one, man. I was in there busting up, bro. I was sending bare like vibes, messaging there. I'm like, nah, he definitely ain't seen them. That's why I had to ask.
No, I hear you, family. I hear you, family. Let me see some of these comments here. Jade says, "Big up everyone in the chat. Big up, Jade. Enough respect goes out to you." And can Albert be on a regular? He's a legend. Was Albert in your show? Yeah.
Yeah. So, Jade, I saw your comments still. I hope you know I read it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, Albert was in there earlier still. So we did the For us do so many shows. What did I do? The preview shows still.
Yeah.
I jumped in at the end.
Yeah.
Conversation, chopped it up with him.
Yeah. He's a good guy, man. He's a good guy. He's a good guy. I
Killing us.
believe Salah is burnt out and fed up with a lack of squad depth as well. Yeah, I believe that as well. I was asking if I could be a mod, Rods. Yeah, I would do. I'll do that for you. I'll do that for you, Ravi. I know you're good, man. I'll do that for you. And Doug says, "Hey, Rods. Yeah, hey, Doug. How you doing? How you doing?" So, Enz, what are you telling me about this game? And what are you telling me about this game?
When we played this team, it felt like we only played them yesterday, man. Last time out, we won 1-0. Harvey had a good game, but we had a mixed team, so it was really good. The injuries might come to haunt us because obviously now losing Konate for it looks like a month, that's going to be an issue. Some good news on the injury front. Aaron Jota will be back next week. He's done 1 or 2 sessions with the first team already. Obviously, we have to wait and see with Virgil and Firmino. Diaz is running again, which is good. Like the sound of that. In terms of the game, though, man, look, these men have a strong team, Wolves team, and it's going to be a tough game because they're going to have enough on the pitch and also enough on the bench. Whether we have that same issue, I don't know. But I'm looking forward to it. But if Gakpo, Nunes, and Salah starting up front, yeah, it'll be interesting, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be one of them ones, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? It's like they went and bought some like players in the transfer window, and one of them like João Gomez. He's supposed to be a baller as well,
He is.
Yeah, and I'm just thinking about the way he links up with that Mateus Nunes and they properly. It could be trouble for us, big man. Because the thing is about it, I think that I like when I look at our team man, put it this way, I know Matip's out, isn't he? Is he Matip out or is he in?
No, it's Konate.
It's Kanate and Matip out, isn't it? I'm sure it's both of them out still.
No, but you know something I don't know.
Well, if Matip's in, you're gonna have to put sort of like Matip alongside Nat Phillips. You're gonna have to put him alongside Phillips. You can't put him against Gomez in there because Gomez ain't really shown me that thing there. The man's a South London youth still. He's going like he's like Cardi B to Ras Clark. What's he going on with?
Don't
You
know, man.
understand?
Don't know.
But
But
like he's pole dancing and thing.
the only problem though, Rose, I don't want too slow man at the back, bro, especially with a high line.
Yeah, but you see something of you know at the end of the day that you there Nat Phillips, man, he put his head for a brick wall for Liverpool. You understand me? And like I'm just thinking of sort of like him getting his head to the ball and defending because I think he's a good defender. Do you know what I mean? But I don't know, man. Well, would you play Gomez again?
Yeah, man. Yeah, he's listen, apart from that, he played well in the last game, man. It was just a little one thing at the end that everyone's kind of beating him with about it, man. But he played really well for that whole game. So it's just one of those things, man. But I don't know. Nat ain't really been playing, and I don't want to see Nat play a game with Matip at the back. It doesn't make sense to me because that's two slow guys at the back. It doesn't I can get if we're playing a team that plays long ball and stuff like that, it makes sense. But we're playing a team that's got technically gifted footballers that's going to play 1-2s, Adama, Podence on one side. Yeah, man, that'll be too much, bro. Probably Cunha up front or what's his name? The other Dunny that's up front. Oh, I can't remember his name now. Is he Chinese or Korean? I don't want to mess it up. But
Oh,
yeah,
I know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking.
one was it One Heat Chan? I think he's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. He's rapid as well. So
He's
yeah,
on
we're
some
gonna
level.
need someone quick in as one of the centre backs, man.
But the only, at the end of the day, he's like he done that thing at Brighton, yeah. But he done it 12 days ago at Brighton, still, man. Do you know what I mean? That's big man T. I mean, I suppose what you're saying is true, and I think that having two slow players at the back, and I think that it doesn't make sense because we just get got at all game. It'd just be Aston Villa all over again. Do you know what I mean? Like, but that's what I'm trying to say. And they, with having personnel at the day to obviously play a certain formation and a certain type of football. And to me, at the day, he hasn't got the days at the day where you had sort of like the personnel at the end of the day to sort of like play like the 4-3-3. Those days are gone, and they've been gone for a long time now. His personnel is best suited to 4-2-3-1 or 4-4-2. You understand what I'm saying? He's best suited to that. But obviously, we know at the end he's not going to play that sort of like that formation. He's always going to sort of stick with his 4-3-3. And I think that's what's killing me because at the end of the day, so like, when you play in a 4-3-3, you naturally play a high line. When you play in a 4-2-3-1, you know what I mean, you naturally step back about 20 yards. You know what I mean? And them 20 yards at the way that you step back, yeah, people might think it's not much. You understand me? People might think it's not much, but it's a lot in football. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's a difference between sort of like, conceding a goal, you know what I mean, or not. It's a big difference. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, yeah, and it makes sense that they sort of like playing Gomez and Matip at the back, but he needs to back up his ideas, family. He needs to back up his ideas. You can't be turning your back on people and then when they've got the ball and they're gonna literally shoot. You can't be turning your back on them because at the end of the day, if you turn your back on them, think that you don't know where the ball's going. You literally don't know where the ball's going. So how can you defend a ball, a situation, in there if you don't know where it's going? You understand?
Yeah, I get why everyone is stressed out about that one still, Rods, but at the same time, I can't forget that he played really well in the game, and I get it why everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, nah, should have done better." Yeah, he should have done better, but at the same time, 90 minutes he played well for. It was just that one moment in the game where why don't we say this? Why don't people say, instead of saying it's bad defending from Gomez, why don't we say that was very intelligent play from Matoma?
Yeah, I see where you're going. I see where you're going with this. Because when you say it, and they sort of like, it's good play by Matona, because we know he's a good player. You know what I mean? He's technically gifted. There's no doubt about that. Do you know what I mean? When we say it, and they sort of like he's a good player. It was good play by him. It's kind of like it doesn't make what Gomez done so bad. Do you know what I mean? But he got outdone by a good player. But saying that, you know what I mean? Gomez has been in the Premiership at the end of the day, sort of like longer than Matoma. Gomez at the end of the day has come up against like fiercer battles in the Premiership in the day, right? Doug's in the building. How you doing, Doug? You okay, fella?
Hello, how are we? We all good?
Good.
And we got Uncle Albert.
Big up, man.
Yeah, what's
Big up,
going on?
everybody.
Respect. But yeah, so like what I'm trying to say is that in fact of Gomez, because he's got that Premier League experience, obviously more than sort of like, than Matoma. I did actually expect him to do a lot more better than what he done. Do you know what I mean? Because at the day, because he's done it 12 days before. Do you know what I mean? For wise up and say, right, I'm not going to make that same mistake again because I've got that experience. And because he made that same mistake again on the same side, do you know what I mean? Because like when you're a boxer, right? When you're boxing, like even amateur boxing, yeah. If you sort of like, if you start fighting and stuff, and you put your head down, you know what I mean, right? You always get told off about that. Do you know what I mean? Because you cannot see at the end of the day where the punches are coming from. So how can you defend punches at the end of the day if you don't know where they're coming from? You have to sort of cover your face, put your guard up, and hopefully you can see where the punch is coming from, and you can bob and weave and this and that. When you're turning your back on somebody, you can't see what the guy's doing. So how can you defend what the guy's doing? Do you know what I mean? You can't defend it. Do you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. And it's like the lack of inexperience for him. The inexperience for him, it was kind of like, no, Gomez, you should be doing a lot better than that. You got caught out in the week like 12 days before. You shouldn't be doing this again. Do you know what I mean? But on the whole, that game he did play well. You know what I mean? He did play well. It was just that situation that he had, which it shouldn't happen. I mean, I don't know what you think about it, Doug. What do you think?
Gomez, it's just another one of these things where he plays well for about 89, 90 minutes and then basically forgets how to defend in sort of the last sort of 4 or 5 minutes. I've got to be honest, I've been saying it for a while. I don't think he is a centre-back anymore. I think he is now probably a right-back cover, if I'm being honest. And I've got to be honest, I know there's a lot of people wanting potentially Phillips in tomorrow, me obviously included. I just don't want to see Gomez in the back two. I get butterflies now watching him in. I know that's really, really harsh to say because Joe Gomez and Virgil van Dijk was one of the best partnerships in the 1920 season when we went on to win the league. But just, I think injuries have caught up with Joe Gomez, sadly. But I think if we're going to play him, it definitely has to be right back cover, and certainly not. He's certainly not a left back either. I think it's more right back cover now for Joe Gomez, unfortunately. But the problem is injuries have caught up with him, and it is starting to show, I think, on the football pitch.
I think you're right, because I was saying in the show before that I think those two big injuries that he's got is actually sapped his confidence. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he doesn't have that confidence at the day that he used to have. Because Gomez at the day, when he come into the squad, the first team, as an 18-year-old player, he was 18 years old. He was fearless. He went in and played left back. He was fearless. He went up against everybody. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When he got like, put it this way, when he got outplayed certain time, you excused him because he's only 18 years old and he's getting sort of like trying to get used to sort of like the top flight. You understand what I'm saying? But saying that, he was fearless. But what I noticed in there, since he's had those two big injuries, because they're horrific injuries, there were horrific injuries. Since he's had that, it's just like, I think it's sapped his confidence. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, you got to think about it. What I think, what he did, defending what he done the other day, like that, right? In the 1920 season or 1890 season, Gomez is not doing that. He's not doing that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Before
Yeah.
pre-injury, he's not doing that. He's standing up and everything that right, and he will try to defend. Do you know what I mean? You know. So I do think his confidence shot. His confidence is well shot. Do you know what I mean? I don't know what you think, Uncle Ab. What do you think about Gomez's situation?
Well, I have two words to resolve Gomez's situation. Ben White. You see, yeah. I mean, as our manager or our coach, whatever it is, whoever is in charge at Liverpool, because I don't know anymore, should be able to say that Gomez is a better right back than he is a centre back. So instead of being a centre back who can cover as a right back, he should rather be a right back who can cover as a centre back. His problem is momentary lapses of concentration, and also what happened with him being skinned at the same spot twice in a row in a space of 2 weeks is he assumes that the shot is going to be taken and the attackers know to dummy him. So the first one with Welbeck was he assumed that Welbeck was going to take the shot. He didn't want it to hit his hand, so he turns his back to feel the shot, and Welbeck dummies him with the rainbow thing to himself. Same thing happens with Mitoma. Mitoma also dummies him, because you would assume that if they had taken the shots the first time on contact, he would have blocked it with his body. So it's momentary lapses of concentration. And I think it's up to the staff to come up with a very quick resolution to the conundrum that we have on the right side of our defense. Seeing that they don't want to buy anybody, quickly shift Gomez there like Arsenal have done with Ben White. And like I have always said, and I will keep saying until the day I die, move Trent to the right side of the midfield. The way Trent plays, he should be a right-sided midfielder in a 3. Trent can even play further up front as a right-sided attacker in a 4-2-3-1. I wouldn't play Trent in the center of the park because he tends to switch off. But yeah, I will put him on the right side in a 3. If he has good cover behind him, we will be good. Our coaches are not, they instead of being dynamic, they are rather fighting for power at the club. I don't know whether you guys have seen the article by Helen Reddy this morning. All the things that we have been suspecting has been going on at Liverpool has actually been going on. And it's so nobody should be surprised that the team is in the kind of state in which it is, because there's a complete food fight, a circular firing squad going on there. Everybody's throwing yam balls at each other in that place. So don't be surprised at what is going on. But with respect to that side of I think we should do a Ben White with Gomez. He's still young. I am of the opinion, although belatedly, that when Aston Villa offered us 55 million, we should have taken it and run the hell with it. That was a mistake that we cannot right now. But hey, let's make do with what we have. Today I'm not making. And please, all the chat guys, please don't come at me. But I think I've come up with a reason why Klopp didn't buy any more players, but he's unable to tell us. Chelsea have only been able to register 3 more players. So all the players they bought, they can't register them, apart from João Felix, Mudryk, and Enzo Fernandez. They can't register any of them, not even Badiashile, for the Champions League. Yeah, and I think that may have informed Klopp in his decisions, but he should have gotten rid of some of these players earlier. So it's still no excuse, but yeah, That's where he is.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're actually going with 24. I've seen the final list. We are going with 24 instead of 25 because of their ineptitude. I mean, the staff at Liverpool, geez, they are like a house of stepchildren.
Yeah. I mean, it's to me at the end of the day, it's just like, even when you look at that situation and they obviously Chelsea can only register a certain amount of people, and we can only do the same. I just think at the end of the day, so like a lot of stuff at the end of the day should have been obviously done a lot more different. A lot more different. Do you know what I mean? But one of the stories that's come out is that FSG themselves at the end of the day are trying to recoup their money back. Do you know what I mean? Like, for instance, they was given they gave Liverpool a loan. I can never understand this, but they gave Liverpool a loan.
So Uncle Rodz, let me explain it to you because I've been doing this for 30 years. Okay.
Okay.
This is what happens. If you are seeking simple analogy, so you want to buy a house. You're a young person trying to buy a house. The smartest thing for you to do is to buy the house over term, because there are three components to financing infrastructure. It's the principal, it's the time, it is the rate at which you get the interest. If you get a shorter duration, your interest is lower. So what FSG did is they took out a chunk of money at a lower interest rate. The time was very short, and then they built Liverpool with it. So as we speak now, what is probably going on with Liverpool, and I'm very certain that's what is going on, is almost all their earnings are being plowed into repaying the infrastructure loans. Now, FSG, being who they are, do not view players as an appreciating element, an appreciating part of the business. They only see the bricks and mortar as something that appreciates. Even though that makes sense in conventional wisdom, it doesn't make sense in football. And the reason why it doesn't make sense in football is that you are actually going to fill those stands you are developing if your players are playing well. So it's an in situ proposition. It goes side by side. You don't neglect the playing staff, build up the best stadium in the world, and then when you finish, you think you're just going to sell it for whatever you think you're going to sell it for. It doesn't work that way. Now, what FSG should also realize, and I've said this in our private WhatsApp group, is that because Everton is up for sale right now, and Everton are building a new stadium, is going to affect the price that any potential person is going to pay for Liverpool. Because the people who are going to come and buy Liverpool are not you and I. I will buy Liverpool at $10 billion if I have the money. I won't buy Everton if it was given to me for free. But those people are looking at a certain value proposition, because they know that if I use £500 million to buy Everton and I have £1 billion to simply buy the best players, I'm winning the Champions League, I'm winning the PL. Don't forget that back in the day, this guy did it. The guy who owned Blackburn. He simply bought everything he could buy. The steel magnate, I've forgotten his name. He simply bought every player he could buy, including Alan Shearer. He won the league. After the year, the team dissipated. Everybody went elsewhere. Blackburn is where they are. So the value proposition that FSG should understand, and because they don't understand football, you develop the infrastructure and the playing body side by side. Because if Liverpool supporters get up tomorrow, for example, if we lose to Everton next weekend, and Liverpool supporters say we are not coming to the stadium again, we've had enough of you, get out, it will affect the price for which they want to sell Liverpool. They don't learn anything because they picked up Liverpool for a song because of what the supporters were doing to Hicks and Gillett. They are not thinking. So all that they are doing is, hey, we've developed a training center. We've developed the stands, the Anfield Road end. We've developed other stands, the Dalglish stand, and that means it has upped the price. But there's a certain market premium with Liverpool, the goodwill associated with Liverpool. The reason why Liverpool has 90 million plus supporters worldwide, which they are ignoring. And it's something that they are going to pay for sooner or later if the team starts, going down. So, in short, what I'm saying is that they are behaving like they are real estate developers, right? That's exactly what they're behaving like. They're developing real estate to sell. The real estate has football players in it. That's how they're thinking. I think it's the wrong way to go, because the unique selling proposition with Liverpool is how well Liverpool do. The storied history of Liverpool. The fact that Liverpool is probably the most fanatically supported team in the EPL. And that's where they are.
No, I couldn't disagree with you one bit. I mean, obviously to finish off that, all I would say is like what I said before. When he got like Saudi, Qatar, owners, them kind of owners, them people in that part of the world, they glorify football. They're literally football mad. They're watching every game across leagues. You know what I mean? Any league, they're watching it. They're just football mad. So naturally, at the end of the day, when they get into football and then they buy a club, they do things for the good of the club. You know what I mean? In the footballing term. Do you know what I mean? For the mad. When you look at sort of like Americans, and this is what it's always been with America, their society is capitalism. It is capitalism. They just want to make as much money as they can. Do you know what I mean? That's it. It's money, 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 money. And sometimes at the day, the pursuit of money is a detriment to what they've got, like a club or a business or whatever. Do you know what I mean? It's always a detriment, because the fact of the day is this: you can't have like Liverpool at the day, advertising wise, we're up there. Revenue wise, we're up there. Do you know what I mean? We don't owe nobody the money. But what you got on the pitch now and everything that, right, is decimating. It's literally, it's falling apart. Now that's what I'm saying. And that's the most important part of your brand, of your business, is the pitch. Now, if you're not willing at the day to put money into that, and you're just like willing to put money on the outside of it, and do this and do that, what you got on the pitch and everything is gonna decay, and then your brand decays. Do you know what I mean? Now they're probably realizing now.
Rodz, there's something going on with the EPL that the owners of Liverpool should recognize. The EPL has become so big that it is actually destroying local leagues all over the world. If you come to Ghana, if you go to Ghana, every time the EPL is being played, everybody is glued to their TV set. They have a massive viewer base. And all those viewers are contributing to the EPL via broadcast rights, because everybody is paying cable and satellite TV bills to watch the EPL. So what FSG should know is that the biggest part of their revenue stream, and they know it, is broadcast rights. It's becoming very, very big in the United States as well. It is big in Asia. It is big in the Middle East. It's big all over. That's the reason why the Spanish and the Italians are bitching over the Super League, because they want a piece of that pie that they know the EPL, which is a marketing machine, is being managed. So if the team is not doing well, it invariably affects the biggest value stream, which is the broadcast rights. It affects the second stream, which is the commercial rights. Everybody is buying shirts and having either their names of the names of their favorite players emblazoned on the back. That's a lot of money to Liverpool. That's a lot of money to the big teams. The broadcast rights are big. The people who go to the pitch to watch, which is the season ticket holders and the gate fee holders, it's a very small part of it. So if you think about it in that way, If I were them, I will focus a little bit more on developing the team than you develop simply the infrastructure and say, hey, I've built a new stadium, and this is what I paid for it, and I'm using the goodwill of Liverpool to sell it. If Liverpool are not playing well, that goodwill is not coming. I bet you the reason why they got that team for £300 million at the time they bought it, part of the reason was that Liverpool were not doing well. That's one of the reasons. If they were doing as well today, if the team was what it was today, they would have at least paid $1 billion for it. So they should understand that. They don't understand football. They just don't understand, and they are not learning. Unfortunately, the people who need to teach them are also bitching about and faffing about the place and fighting, like I said, like sardines in a sardine can. So that's why we are where we are.
Do you not think that we're now at a stage where basically Klopp is basically back to square one? He came into a really, really bad squad.
Yeah.
And FSG have kind of sort of, all right, they backed him in sort of some seasons, but if we're being brutally honest, it's literally back to square one, because the squad has got worse. I think it has got worse. And obviously, speaking about the Premier League being sort of the taking over all the sort of the TV rights and everything like this, the Premier League is like the Super League now. Like you have to be honest. You have to be honest. The Premier League is now is basically now this big Super League. The amount of money that's being spent, Chelsea have spent £601 million in the last 12 months. Seriously, FSG are not going to be able to compete with that, unfortunately. So we're going to be falling further and further behind these kind of clubs. We're going to be falling further behind City. City are getting better. United are getting better. Newcastle even going above us this season as well. This is what happens when you don't invest. And unfortunately for me, I think FSG are here for a wee while yet. I don't think they're wanting a majority. So I think they're wanting a minority, like the Redbird Capital that obviously came in a couple of seasons ago. I think it's a minority sale that they're wanting. I don't think it's a full sale. And if obviously you believe the rumours that, John W. Henry and Tom Werner are at each other's throats, one wants to sell full and then one doesn't. So,
Doug, you are spot on. You see, I had always been saying this, that they are not interested in the full sale. They simply want somebody's money to buy players. That's all this is about. But FSG are also hedge fund people. So if they really wanted to spend on players, they will spend. It's simply how they view the football team. They don't understand football. They think that applying the American model for developing sport is the same as they simply transpose it to Liverpool, and that's it. Like I said, the Liverpool value proposition is the fanatical support it has, the you never walk alone support it has. Liverpool has more Irish supporters than they have Scouse support. Liverpool has more support in Africa than they have Scouse support. Liverpool has more support in Southeast Asia than they have supporters in Stanley Park. What they should understand is that the only name to the game for them is that the team must do well. We cannot afford lean seasons, so to speak. We can't afford lean seasons. So they should maintain Liverpool like you maintain an aircraft. It is preventive maintenance. You don't wait for the plane to have a bad engine in the sky before you start maintaining it, because that kills people. It kills the team. They are not listening, and the people who should be making them listen are not listening either. I don't think Klopp is selling them the true vision of what Liverpool is, because Klopp knows, but he's simply collecting £15 million a year and he's keeping quiet and making excuses for them. Klopp knows that he should have buckled down on getting a midfielder. He knows that. Whether he got Gakpo or he didn't get Gakpo, that's immaterial to me. He should have gotten it. You cannot tell me that, hey, I'm the first person to tell you that Todd Bowley's £601 million is dumb, really dumb, because you are going to have players in the dressing room who feel they are superstars and are not shirted, they are not playing. You're going to have so-called superstars who get injured, and by the time they recover, they can't get into the team. Right now, as we speak, they've bought Aubameyang and they've pulled him out of the Champions League team. And you know what happens when Aubameyang starts misbehaving? So that's where their problems are going to begin. But there's a middle ground. It's not just black and white. There's a gray area there. You also cannot heap the fortunes of a team like Liverpool on the shoulders of an 18-year-old because Fabinho is misfiring. Right. And today, our coach has finally admitted what we've all known for weeks, maybe months, that Fabinho has lost it. He has said today in his press conference that Fabinho simply has to play his way back into the team. But I ask you a question. If you are Klopp and you have Bajcetic playing the way he's playing, no matter how well Fabinho plays his way back into the team, for the future of the team, do you play him or should you put him on a list to offload him in the summer? I know what I'll do, right? Because Fabinho is on £200,000 plus a week. You can't put him on the bench. So you either need to sell him while the going is good, or you need to play him. What are you going to do? Are you uprooting Bajcetic? You can't do that. So we have issues that need to be resolved. I'm just praying for like, you know, I'm going to be like Lannon and keep praying that at least we get 6 points. We get 6 points between now and the time we play Everton. And then we can push from there. If we lose or draw any of the next 2 matches, all hell is going to break loose.
I've got to be honest. I've got to be honest with you, Albert. I am not confident going into any of these games whatsoever, because you look at Wolves. Yes, okay. I mean, you know, we have played them twice in the FA Cup, and yes, I know we beat them 1-0 in the last game as well. Our last 3 meetings actually with Wolves, we've actually beaten them 1-0 in Molineux in the Premier League. So I don't expect many goals tomorrow. But the one thing is, for me, that Everton game is going to be so difficult now with Dyche in charge, because Dyche will have them completely well up for this. They'll be right in your faces. They'll be so difficult to break down. This is the thing as well. Newcastle away, I am not looking forward to that game whatsoever. That could be a really bad defeat. The way that they're going. So, you know, you look at that, and then you obviously got Real Madrid, and then I think after that, I think it's the FA Cup, and then it's Manchester United at Anfield. So we've got a really tough run coming in. But I think this season, if we were not to get top 4, the last thing I would want to do is to end up in the Europa League or the Europa Conference League, because the last time we were actually out of Europe, we actually had a bit of a rebuild. And then we basically got back into top 4. We might have to have that again, because the thing is, as I keep saying, the squad for me, the midfield has been neglected so many times. I mean, the funny thing is that our last 2 midfield signings was Thiago Alcantara and Naby Keita. That was our last 2 permanent midfield signings, and it's shown.
It's shown. Let me ask this question.
I totally agree with you, Doug.
Albert, give me 1 second. Let me ask you this, guys, this question. You lot can chop up this question here from Ravi. Question for you guys. Do you think certain signings were Pep Lijnders signings?
Oh, absolutely. Gakpo was his signing. Absolutely. Gakpo was his signing because he referred to Gakpo as the missing link in his book. Absolutely, Gakpo was his signing because we didn't need Gakpo. Diaz was his signing. You see, Lijnders has a link with Jorge Mendes when he was at Porto. Jorge Mendes is the super agent for almost all the players that come out of Portugal. So he's Nunes' agent, he's Diaz's agent, he's Fabinho's agent, he's Alisson's agent. Brazilian and Portuguese players and players that come out of Porto are his forte. Indeed, he also is Enzo Fernandez's agent, and he does so much business with especially Liverpool that he has a link with Pep Linders. Whatever it is they do together, only God knows. Another thing, for example, another thing they did was this Matheus Nunes thing. Liverpool wanted to sign Matheus Nunes. Instead of Liverpool signing him directly, they decided to allow Wolves to sign him and see what happens before we pay a premium for him. Mendes virtually owns Wolves. That team is an extension of the Portuguese national team. So there's a link there. He is the one who unfortunately has gotten into Klopp's ear. And if you read his book, read the forward that Klopp wrote to the book. Klopp wrote that without Pep Linders, he can't function. So if you write that about your assistant, he knows you can't function without him. So what he tells you is what you do. It's very unfortunate. But he doesn't have any aptitude for what he's doing either, because he went to manage a minuscule team called NEC Nijmegen. He was given a brief to get them to the Eredivisie. He couldn't do it. They sacked him. The person who came and took over from him got Nijmegen to the Eredivisie. Now they are 7th in the Eredivisie. So he's not all he's panned out to be. I am hoping and praying that he gets the Ajax job and will be much better for it.
So do you think the same, Doug? Do you think the same?
Yeah, I do. Especially, I think Gakpo is definitely one of the signings. I mean, the fact that we were getting linked with that Coop Miners from Atalanta says it all. Says it all for me. Matheus Nunes, I don't care what anybody says, but why are we going for him this summer when we could have had him for last summer?
You could have 10 million less, you know.
Yeah, 35 million. Yeah. It's just the whole club from top to bottom right now is a shambles.
Mm-hmm.
It's an absolute shambles. And the thing is as well that I think things are going to probably still get a little bit worse before they get better. And I can see at least a few players leaving the club in the summer, and unfortunately, you know, I think let's be honest, players in that squad have done marvelous things for us. They've done fantastic things for us. But the thing with Ferguson at Manchester United, the one thing he was doing, he kept investing in the squad. He kept moving players. Once the Van Nistelrooys of this world, once the sort of the Rooneys were really, really bad, he moved them on. Klopp, for me, has been too sentimental to some of these players. Milner, look, James Milner, fantastic footballer, fantastic athlete, but he's only 37. So he's getting to a stage now where he's going to get retired. Henderson, he's lost his legs. He's completely lost his legs. If Milner goes, I can see Henderson being that Milner type player next season. Doesn't play much, but when he does, he will give 110%.
Yeah, let's read out some of these comments here. Klopp needs to grow some balls and tell FSG to help with rebuilding the team and invest or get the rolling. It's true, but I think at the end of the day, so he's gonna be hitting his head against a sort of like brick wall. Do you know what I mean? He was fab now, he's shite. That's a waking world. You know what I mean? Big up Awaken World.
See, I have a question with the people who keep saying FSG should help Klopp. FSG gave Klopp £125 million at least that we know of since the summer. What has he done with it? Nunes and Gakpo. Don't you guys think he could have done much better than that?
Yeah.
Couldn't he have done much better? And Doc, to the point you were making about Mateus Nunes, they've done the same thing with João Gomes.
Mm-hmm.
If you watch the Brazilian league, João Gomes, the 21-year-old guy, I think he's even better than Enzo Fernandez.
Yeah.
He's been linked with us.
He looks like an absolute baller.
Exactly.
Yeah,
We didn't buy him. So we're going to wait until, excuse my French, he fucks us up tomorrow. And then by the time we're going to want him, he's going to cost 60 million pounds. So who is making the damn decisions at FSG? Are we saying that we couldn't have shed 17 million? Club couldn't have gone to FSG and said, hey, look here, guys. We are really in danger of going to play on Thursday in Karabakh. So give me 17 million pounds. Let me go get this guy. Maybe I can even negotiate. Because no team buys a player with cash. It's all a facility. It's depreciated over the length of the contract. And even then, the player is insured. So players like this guy, Emilio Sala, who fell out, who had a plane crash and died before they started playing. The value is insured.
Yeah.
Right? So Klopp knows he can do better. Like you said, Doc, the sentimentality with, I mean, how can you be telling us, with all due respect to James Milner, how can you be telling us that you want to give him another contract? How can you be telling us that? How could you have given Henderson a 4-year contract at nearly 7.3 million pounds a year? That is not freeing. That is not freeing spaces for you to sign some of the João Gomez's that are coming. 7.28 million pounds a year works out at 140,000 pounds. Luis Diaz is paid 57,000 pounds. So a lot of the things that are going on, and it is also my sentiment, and I'm just taking a pot shot in the dark here. Some of the players may be upset at the amount of money that Salah is being paid. And I think it's the senior players. Some of them. Salah is being paid 354,000 pounds a week. The nearest person is VVD. He earns 220,000. I don't think the senior players in the team are happy about that. I may be wrong. And for Salah, if you are the one with the keys to the castle, you need to take the team on your shoulders and get it done. Right? Thomas Partey is the highest paid player in Arsenal. He plays like he is.
Yeah. I'm going to be honest. I don't know if anyone else agrees with me, but I wouldn't start Salah tomorrow.
No,
I wouldn't.
I'll play Elliot. I'll play Elliot.
All day long.
He ain't performing. And when you're not performing, you don't deserve to be in the team. I don't want to see Fabinho anywhere near the team tomorrow. He was shocking when he came on against Brighton the other day. But Salah, for me, is just going through a spell where I think he just needs a kick up the backside. And I think benching him tomorrow would be the right thing to do and play Harvey Elliott on the right-hand side. And then, I think probably I think the front three tomorrow will probably be Gakpo, Nunes and Elliott. But as I keep saying, the 4-3-3 is completely outdated. So why not mix it up and do 4-2-3-1? Why not mix it up to do like maybe a 4-4-2 diamond? But we never play a sort of a 4-4-2. But you look at the game tomorrow, they're going to probably be 3-5-2, 5-3-2, or wherever they play. I know that they used to do that. I don't know if they do that now. But Traore scares me tomorrow. Like Traore is rapid. I know he's got the end product of a bowling ball when it comes to trying and playing his teammates in. Basically gets to the byline and basically puts the ball in the gutter. That's how bad his end product is. I'm looking forward to seeing Pablo Sarabia tomorrow because I think to get him for 3.5 million, that is an absolute bargain of the highest order for Wolves to get him at that price, as well. And then obviously Mateus Nunes, Ruben Neves always has a good game against us. Always has a good game against us. Tomorrow is going to be a very, very difficult game. Tomorrow is going to be a midfield slug. It's going to be one of those games where I think the battle of the midfield is going to win it. Defensively, they're not they're not too shabby under Lopetegui. And I think Lopetegui's came in. He's trying to make them a little bit more defensively minded, and I think that is good to see. They will not go down. I can tell you now, they will definitely not go down this season because of Lopetegui. Yes, I know they don't score enough goals, but they have that Premier League experience to keep them in this league. I do not see Wolves getting relegated this season.
I'm very happy you say that, because as much as you are guaranteed that Adama Traore is going to put the ball in Coventry when he gets to Bailey, he's going to boot it into Coventry from Molineux when he gets to the byline. Sarabia is not going to do the same thing.
He'll probably put the ball. He'll probably put the ball in West Bromwich or Birmingham,
exactly.
knowing his end product.
Or even Luton.
Sarabia is not going to give us any such comfort because he's a very good player. I don't know how they got him for £3.5 million, but these are some of the things that I can't forgive Liverpool for. How did we allow Azzedine Ounahi to go to Marseille for €10 million and score on his debut? How did we allow that to happen? That is just ineptitude. Because for €10 million, Ounahi could have been at Liverpool and we could have taken a risk on him. Klopp said he wants to take risks. Those are some of the risks you take. Because some of the best players that have played for him, like Gini Wijnaldum, he got them for next to nothing, right?
Yeah.
So, and in football, some of the players, how much did he get Robbo for?
Next $8 million.
Nothing. Exactly. So sometimes you take a pot shot on some of these things and it works. If it doesn't work, it's sweat off a duck's back. But if you sit down for these things, look, tomorrow is going to define some players in our team. Tomorrow is going to redefine some people because Lopetegui didn't come to Wolves to go down.
No.
You know, he came with a lot of ambition. And if you look at the stats of Wolves, they've lost matches, but they haven't lost by much. In fact, they draw more than they lose. So they are about to start blowing up the league if they have the right kind of personnel. They bought Mario Lemina too, haven't they?
Yeah.
They bought Mario Lemina.
That's another cracking signing from them.
So it's not going to be easy. And that's why I'm saying that it is unfair to put the fortunes of our team on the shoulders of that little 18-year-old. Because if he has a stinker, like they forced him to be overrun at Man City, the supporters are going to turn on him and it will affect his confidence. How do you field him against players like Rodri and Bernardo Silva and expect him to do better? And then put Fabinho and that shitty ass Henderson by his side for them to blow up the yard. So Klopp needs to do better. He absolutely has to do better. And I have kept asking that, seeing our defensive and our midfield frailties, why isn't he going 3-back? To protect people like VVD, to protect people like Van Dijk. Why isn't he doing 3-back? Because
you know something. Let me just jump in quick. Yeah? You know something. This is what I'm talking about: personnel. And I always say this: personnel in your team. We haven't got the personnel to pay a 4-3-3. We just haven't got it. The days that we had the personnel to pay 4-3-3 have gone because players that we had in that squad to play that are not with us anymore. They're no longer with us. Do you know what I mean? They've gone. We have got the personnel at the end of the day to play a 4-2-3-1. We have got that personnel, 4-2-3-1, which evolves into a 4-4-2. Do you know what I mean? And stuff. We've got that personnel to play that. Now, this is what I find, it is absolute negligence at the end of the day not to see that. Because remember at
Yeah,
the day, we
definitely.
just see the team at the end of the day, right? In bits and everything like that. Remember they see
Yeah.
that team every day. Yeah. So for them not to know at the end of the day that look, we haven't got the personnel to do that because what they do when they're playing 4-3-3, they're often playing people out of position. They're often doing
Yeah.
that. This person
Yeah.
playing out of position, this person shouldn't be doing that, and that person shouldn't be playing there. Do you know what I mean? And hence at the end of the day, they're getting overrun in midfield. Do you know what I mean? Now, you
Hmm.
look at Wolves and everything that, Wolves' team, they've got some good midfielders. They could potentially overrun us in midfield. Now, when you play a 4-3-3 and when you play a 4-2-1, yeah, when you're playing a 4-3-3, you naturally have a high line. You naturally have
Hmm.
that. There's no getting away with it. You have a high line. When you play a 4-2-3-1, yeah, it goes back 20 yards. Now, people might think at the day, well, 20 yards on a pitch is not much, it's nothing. But I'm telling you, it makes a hell of a lot of difference because it's a difference between conceding a goal. It is a difference between conceding a goal. Do you know what I mean? And then,
Yeah.
and it's a difference. It's a difference at the day with that transaction of the day of turning defense into attack. Do you know what I mean? The reason
Mm.
why people like VVD and they haven't been looking their sort of like their best because for about 5 or 6 years now they've been playing this high line and you've asked VVD to run back, run back, run back, run back, run back. He hasn't got the
Yeah.
energy anymore to keep him running back 20 yards or 30 yards. He hasn't got that energy. Same with Henderson. Henderson and Day since when he come into to the squad 2011, Henderson and Day has been running up and down that field pitch for 11 years. And
Yeah.
now what is it today? In summer, Klopp has asked people like Henderson and them all those sort of people to do it again. But boss, we've had like a barrage of games last season. How do you expect us to do it again? I don't care. Do it again. That's what I'm getting. Now, really and truly, and that's why I always say that you can't just blame FSG for the faults that's going on with Liverpool. You cannot just blame them. We know at the end of the day, sort of like they're capitalists and all that. But you have to blame your people like your club. You have to blame your people like Pep Linders and all the other people, all the staff that he's got, because they cannot see at the end of the day what's in front of their face. What's in the front of their face is so blatantly obvious at the day, right? Yeah. People that don't even know anything about football and they can see it. So
Yeah.
it's very negligent at the day on their part that they cannot see at the day, right? This dilemma we're in. They cannot see it at the day. Putting like Brachetti up against sort of like these experienced midfielders is a no go because what they're doing at the day is this. When they put Brachetti in, they're hoping
Mm.
they're just hoping for a result. They're hoping at the day that this guy and they 18 years old is going to do the bits that they need. They're hoping. Do you know what I mean? Let me read out some of these comments quick.
But
Build up.
yeah,
Let's read some of these comments quick. Thursday night, 5:30 versus FC Berlin. Stop it.
see, to
Rather,
the point you.
sorry.
Uh,
So 1 second. I would rather we don't play in Europa League or Conference League Thursday afternoon at 3 o'clock against some faraway team in Kazakhstan. I'm putting the thing. I'm putting like all the kids in that one. Putting all the kids in that one. Philip Bidwell says, "I don't think you are Albert. I don't know what he's saying. I don't know what he's referring to. So." Please put it in again. I totally agree. And yes says, Ensman says, hashtag sat on the bench. I can agree with that. Ensman TV, agree. That's come from Bidwell. Ross, you should get Albert, Ens, Doug, and was it? And Macy on a show together. That would be sick. That would be actually. Yeah, well, I did a show with Macy the other night. She's a Man United sport, but
she's
she
sharp,
has got
man.
some. She's got some knowledge about football. She's
She's sharp.
quality. Yeah, she's quality. So I'm getting her on again. Phil and the S. Douglas, what midfield? Yeah, that's facts.
Yeah, exactly.
That's facts. Ravi, yeah, I was on, just jumped off, sorting out a few things. That's ends man, sorting out his kids. The state of the club is worse than Sam Smith new.
Yeah, don't start me on with Sam Smith. Do not
But
start
it's
me with
just,
that guy.
but it's just the state of our club at the moment. Yeah, Esma's laughing. Henderson is the captain. Yeah, I know, but we just haven't got the personnel to do it no more, Albert. No, we haven't got the personnel to pay. We haven't got the personnel to pay 433. I know that. Cop needs to wear his glasses again to see the problem we've got. The last comment is Neil Garner. I hope you are a new subscriber, Neil Garner. Please let me know if you are. If you haven't subscribed yet, just hit the subscribe button and the like button, and you can comment, share, and hit the notification button. And I want you to go over to Doug's channel as well and hit the subscribe button on that. It's Doug Football, isn't it? Doug.
Yeah, the Dugout Football channel.
Yeah, the Dugout Football channel. Go over and hit the like and subscribe over there. He does some wonderful stuff over there. Do you know what I mean? Now, this midfield that we're going to have tomorrow, I just want to touch on the midfield tomorrow. This midfield that we got tomorrow, do you honestly think, at the end of the day, the midfield that we're going to have tomorrow, because we're going to have Thiago, Prosetics, and Kate. I think that's going to be our midfield tomorrow, yeah? Them three. Do you honestly think at the end of the day that's good enough to sort of like, that's good enough to sort of like win the game, considering what they got?
The problem that we're having once again is you have Keita. Keita, on a good day, is a very good footballer. But I've told you guys he's not 27 years old. That's his biggest problem right now. It's not that he doesn't have the ability to play. Keita is not 27. He's in his mid 30s. That's the reason why he gets injured and it takes forever to heal. Thiago is also not that kind of footballer. You see, the 4-3-3 formation, and the way Klopp plays it with the high line, relies on players who don't necessarily have the ball, but who are athletic. So you want the ball to get to your front three anyhow it gets there, whether they are pressing, whether you are intercepting and giving it to them, or whether you have defenders who are actually scoring like VVD. Now we keep playing that high line with defenders, a VVD who is recovering more or less from an ACL, and it is something that he probably will never get over. The psychological issues associated with what happened with his knee. You also have Matip and Konate, who are prone to hamstrings. So it means, and a hamstring is simply an overworked muscle. So it means they are not doing very well running back when we lose the ball. So It goes back to what you are saying, Uncle Rodz, the drop-off. We have played 4-4-2 3 times this year. We won all 3 matches. We played 4-4-2 against Man City, we won. We played 4-4-2 against Spurs, we won. We played 4-4-2 against Napoli. We won.
We won. Yeah.
Because the coach needs to be able to understand that his players are not what they used to be. So you get to a point where you are using the experience of the players and not necessarily their brawn. You are using their brain, not their brawn. Modric is not using brawn to play at 38. He's using brain.
Yes.
What's the name of his partner, the German guy?
Oh, Cruz.
Thomas, I'm sorry, Cruz is not using brawn, he's using brain. Chouameni is using brawn, not brain. Kamavinga is using brawn, not brain. Players like Lewandowski, they are not using their strength. They are using where they need to be on the pitch after so many years of play. That is what Klopp should understand. You shouldn't be asking Matip and VVD, who are 31 going on 32, to run back at a high line. They are not 28 anymore.
Exactly.
What is it that Klopp doesn't understand? So every other match, they are going to pick up a hamstring. Every other match, they are going to pick up a hamstring. You can't ask Thiago to play a halfback role, dispossessing players, tackling. That's not what Thiago knows how to do. He can do it if need be, but what's going to happen is that Thiago is going to give away penalties. He's going to give away free kicks like he did against Arsenal. Even though I'll stand on my oar and say that wasn't a penalty. The one we considered against Arsenal was not a penalty.
No, it wasn't.
And Michael Oliver was just being an idiot. I still say that Thiago is being asked to do the wrong things. So his creativity is not being unlocked. So we go back to your 4-2-3-1. Let's look at Arsenal. They have Thomas Partey, who sits, and they have Xhaka, who ventures forward. When it's okay to do so, both of them can venture forward. But what it does is that it gives the defense and the drop-off that they have in defense, it gives them a certain modicum of protection, right? They have a certain self-touch. Can you imagine if Arsenal were playing with a high line with Saliba and what's the other guy?
Gabriel.
And Gabriel. Do you realize what would have been happening? They would have been leaking goals like a sieve. But he needs to get the drop-off. That's why he needs to go to the 4-4-2. If he can do a 3-back. When we were watching the World Cup, we all saw that the Netherlands were playing a 3-back formation. And VVD thrived in it because he's getting on in age. He's not the VVD that he used to be. If indeed you want to play that same 4-3-3 formation, go and get Gvardiol. Go and get the guy who wants to come to Liverpool from Atlanta. What's his name? Skiviol or whatever his name is.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
Yeah. These are guys, they are tall, they can run, they are athletic, they are young. Those are the kind of players, 24, 25 years old, that you play that kind of system with. If you're not getting the money, adjust. In life, you adjust, right? I still don't understand the insistence on playing 4-3-3 with a high line when we have defenders who are not at their best or who are aged. And we are simply giving Alisson so much work to do. One fine day, he'll simply walk off the job.
Of course he would. You know what I mean? All right, let's talk about before we go, let's talk about the attack, and we'll talk about obviously the prediction for the game, the score prediction. So first, I want to start with attack. I think it's going to be Gakpo, Nunez, and Salah. So I'll come to you first, Doug. What are your thoughts on that?
I think Gakpo starts. I'm going to say it again. I think Salah's on the bench. I'm going to go Elliott, and I'm going to go Nunez. I'm going to go Gakpo, Nunez, and Elliott tomorrow.
Yeah. What's your score prediction tomorrow?
I think it's going to be a very difficult game, as I keep saying. But we do have a good record against Wolves at Molineux. I'm going to go for the same scoreline that we did in the FA Cup, 1-0 Liverpool.
Oh, facts. Good. Uncle Albert. You know what I mean?
I agree totally with Doug. You see, when we sat Salah down in the Rangers match, he watched from the stands and he came on and scored a hat-trick in 6 minutes. That's what we should do to him. He is the leader of the team in terms of how much money he earns, he should start playing like that. But I wish, I always give, as much as I don't think Elliott should be a starter for Liverpool, I give him an A+ for effort and enthusiasm. So I would like to see him start, but he should start where Salah plays, and we should put Salah on the bench for a change and see what happens. Right. If we are going to win against Wolves, we should knock them out early. Because in all the matches we've won at Molineux, we've knocked them out early. Score early, let them chase the game. The last thing we want is to do what we do and do a hospital pass that allows them to score a goal, and then we go and chase the game. We don't want to go chase the game at Molineux. My head tells me, like Doc says, it's going to be a difficult match. But whatever happens, I don't want to draw. We should either lose or win. Because if we lose, then some people are going to seriously start having to answer some questions. If we win, it's the day we say, okay, we finally had a renaissance. I don't want to draw for anybody to come and tell us it's an improvement, because a draw is, we've dropped 2 more points. I am hoping today that Chelsea and Fulham draw, because for our sake, they need to draw. We don't want Chelsea to win that match, but we also shouldn't want Fulham to win. Because if Fulham wins, they are now, 6 points ahead of us? We don't want that.
Yeah.
So I want a 1-1 draw today, and then we project from there. Because if we win and Fulham draw, at least that puts us in 6th place. We can start working from there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's that kind of like says it all. Unless there's anything else, and you guys want to touch on anything else?
I want to touch briefly on the. I want to just briefly touch on this issue that we are having with the management of our team. I think that all the guys in the chat, all of you, a lady called Helen Reddy has written an article. I think you should all read it, because if you read it, you'll be more informed about the food fight that is going on. There's a fight in the medical team. There's a fight at the top of the tree with going on with the club and the people who assist him. Many of them want Linders out. There's a gentleman called Andreas Kornmeier who he brought from Bayern Munich, who is also basically the one who's making all the doctors resign. There's a lot of crap going on in Liverpool. And it is all because our owners are hands off, they have no knowledge of football, and they are just dumb. So the manager has built a fiefdom, and he's enjoying, basically, Liverpool has become a third world dictatorship. That's what is going on. And if you tell Klopp what he wants to know, you become part of the inner circle that controls everything. It's very, very dangerous. Until we get new owners, it's going to be a problem. But FSG did not intend to sell the team completely. They wanted to get somebody's money to buy players, and they also wanted to blow us off, we the supporters who were putting pressure on them. So they too are fighting at the top. They are also fighting over whether it should be a full sale or a partial sale. But in today's business world, who's going to hand you $1 billion to go and buy players, and then you tell him he doesn't have control? Are you crazy? Are you nuts? How does that happen?
I hear you. What's the mindset? Man says, big up. Big up. Said big up. Rodz. Big up Doug and Albert.
Big up Cedric.
Therefore Red Bird, and my man said saw that Albert. It proves what we've been saying for time. And Jen Trudon's in the building as well. He says John Henry moving like He's not
Absolutely.
nice, you know.
See what? That's the biggest analogy you can give. You can call John Henry a Mugabe because he doesn't know nothing about whatever the fuck is going on, and his assistants are screwing his wife. His assistants are ruling the roost, running the whole show. He doesn't know shit about anything, and that is what is killing our team because we have to have an owner who is able to call the manager and say, "Hey, the supporters are saying you should buy midfielders. Give me a scoop on it. What's the issue?" You can say whatever you want about Todd Bowley. You know what he did the other day? He showed up on Chelsea Spaces. I thought that's a guy who really wants to know what's going on with his team. He actually showed up on Chelsea Spaces and he talked to his supporters. Those are some of the things a good owner does. I'm not trying to be a Chelsea supporter now, but I don't even like the color blue. But I envy them. Nobody can say they don't envy them. If our fairy godfather showed up and gave us 600 million pounds, we will lap it up. We will, but hey, maybe knowing Klopp, he might just spend it on Julian Brandt and Mario Götze.
Ravi says, Ravi says, there's a question, why don't we take positive risk on players anymore? I'll put that to you, Doug.
I think it's just a case of not having that money to go out and buy players, but unfortunately, it's just the way that the cookie crumbles. Unfortunately,
yeah. Where is that Melissa Reddy? Where is that article she wrote? What platform is it on? Is it on ESPN?
I'm not sure actually.
Let me just look it up because
I think it's on Sky Sports actually.
It's on Sky Sports.
Right.
But I called it off another website. It's on Sky Sports.
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up. Look it up. Okay, guys. Doug, what you got coming up next?
Not much at the moment, to be honest with you. Maybe a Wolves match reaction tomorrow. But it's been quite a quiet week for me, YouTube wise. But no, I'll have probably like a Premier League prediction show, maybe Monday. Obviously, everyone. Please go and subscribe to Uncle Rodz first of all, and obviously it's great to be back on your I think it's my first time on your channel actually.
Yes,
so thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it. And I am on YouTube at the Dugout Football Channel, people. So come over, give me a subscribe, and make sure you subscribe to Uncle Rodz first though.
Yeah, man. But just once you finish with me, make sure you go over and subscribe to Doug's football, Dugout Football, please. Make sure you subscribe to that. I think there's another guy here, and I think he's a new subscriber. This guy here, Lloyd. My frustration is that we need to be using the players in the right position and utilizing what we have by changing that suits the players. I've been saying that all along.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot put square pegs in round holes. You can't do it. Do you know what I mean? You have to be playing the players in a position, and that's what I'm talking about. Is that the 4-3-3 and the 4-2-1? We have got the personnel and they to play 4-2-3-1. We haven't got the personnel anymore to play that 4-3-3 style anymore. But he's stubborn. He's stubborn in what he's doing, because the thing about it, FSG in the day is giving him money and that, giving him money, and it's true. But what Klopp should have done is literally at the day go to the South America and all those places there and buy those little cheap players. I mean, Benfica do it. Everybody else does it. Why can't you do it? Do you know what I mean?
And
You know?
if we are actually the net spend club that we are supposed to be, that's exactly what we should be doing. Somebody bought Enzo Fernandez and sold him for 12 times the price they bought him. That's what we should be doing.
Yeah, we should be doing that. There's no the thing is about anything that, right? There is no excuse. There's literally no excuse. And well, look at Liverpool. Look how big Liverpool is. There's no excuse at them for you to send your scouts out to South America and all those places there and pick up these players. There's no excuse.
You know, even the French league, there is such an abundance of talent in the French league. Is unbelievable.
Do you know? At the end of the day, the same guy that's gone to Wolves, was it João Gomez? Yeah.
Yeah, Gomez. Yeah.
He wanted to come to Liverpool. He was linked with Liverpool. He was literally linked with Liverpool. He was supposed to be a Liverpool player, but he's gone to Wolves for 14 million they paid.
Because Jorge Mendes has bought him and sent him to Wolves. By next year or the year after, when we want him, he is going to be a 40 million pound player. That is the racket that's going on at Liverpool. And the supporters need to open their eyes. Like Doug alluded with the Nunes matter. There was absolutely no need that we didn't get the guy when he cost 30 million. We have no excuse not getting the guy. Look, Josko Gvardiol has been saying that he only wants to go to Liverpool. The guy has even rejected moving this season because he says, I want to play for Liverpool. We are sitting down. We want to wait until he gets to 100 million pounds. And then we're going to start complaining that we don't have money to buy him.
Exactly. All right, guys, I'm going to bid you guys good night. Egyptian King's just come in and he says, yeah, big up, folks. Cedric said, okay, big up, Cedric. Lloyd as well. Lloyd, I don't know if you're a new subscriber, if you subscribed yet, but if you haven't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. Please hit the subscribe button, like, and also comment and share and hit the notification button. You'll be notified when I go live, and also do the same at Dug Out Football channel as well. Do the same on that. Do you know what I mean? We'll be sort of like conforming back again very soon. I've got a few shows coming up, and I would definitely have these bunch of good chaps on there as well. Do you know what I mean?
Thank you, Uncle Rodz. And big up to all the guys, man. For me, it's gonna be a misty morning tomorrow because I have to wake up at 8 o'clock to watch it. But we'll see. I think I am like I said, I'm doing the London and I'm praying that we're gonna do well.
Where are you, Uncle Albert?
I'm in Orlando, Florida.
What is that, you, King? What did you do?
Orlando, Florida. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Get in there, son. Get in there.
It's all right. You know, every time you talk to people about being in Orlando, Florida, they'll tell you, "Oh, Disney." I've been here for so long, but I've never even been there because I'm not interested in that. But they did have the day we lost to Brighton. They did have a fan fest at Universal Studios, and it was massive. They had about 50,000 people attending, but I'm happy I didn't go because we lost.
Oh, good. Okay, then, guys. Thank you for coming on. Uncle Albert, thank you for coming on. I'll give you a shout for my next show.
Hey,
also,
I put the article in the WhatsApp group. I put the article in the Helen Reddy article. I put in the WhatsApp group.
Okay, I'll read that. I'll give you a shout as well, Doug. Obviously, if you're free and anything that, you can jump on anytime you're free. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no worries, mate. No worries. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, bye.
Onwards and upwards for tomorrow, innit? Onwards and upwards for tomorrow. Do you know what I mean? That's all we can say. Guys, if you're watching this on a replay, please like and subscribe and also comment, share, and hit the notification button. This is Anfield Uncle Rodz giving you another show. I had Uncle Albert in the building, also Dug Out Football in the building as well. Big up yourself. So, guys, I will see you guys very, very soon. Take care and enjoy the rest of your night. And as we always say this is we never walk alone. So, guys, take care. Bye-bye.